Hi, I'm Julie, and I'm on a journey to toxin-free living, finding natural solutions, a homesteader, and I'm having fun learning how to keep it all together. It's still the dead of winter, but I'm planning my garden for this next season. And I thought I'd share 5 things I do to plant my garden. So in this video, I'll go over how to plant a vegetable garden, answering the following questions. What is a good layout for a vegetable garden? And what are the 5 things you should do to prepare a good vegetable garden? And stay tuned to the end. And in step 5, I share a cool free app I found that makes your garden season easy peasy. So let's get to it. Number 1, inventory seeds. First, decide what you want to plant in the upcoming season. A recommendation, only grow what you eat, especially if you're new at this. As you get more experienced, it's fun to try new veggies, but keep it simple to start. Once you have your list, if you have seeds, update or take inventory of what seeds you have and what you'll need. If you need some seeds, here are some suggestions on where to get them. Check out your local nursery to see if they sell seeds in bulk. Otherwise, seeds can get pretty expensive, especially if you're buying just the little packages. Now, here are some recommendations for online seed stores if you want to check them out. One is True Leaf Market. Another is Johnny Seed. And now the Living Farm is selling seeds, so check these resources out and I'll put the links in the description. Now, number 2 step, location, location, location. Yes, it's like real estate. Most vegetables require 6 to 8 hours of sunlight. Now, when selecting a location, look at the shade that could be created by buildings that are nearby, trees or fences. And also think about accessibility and convenience to work in the garden and the ease of harvesting, which is the best part. Also think about the crops you'll be growing and how placement of the tall crops as opposed to the low growing crops will work in this space. Number 3, layout. Now, your rows and length of beds you'll want to have going east and west to get the most crops exposure of the south facing. So in planting the different crops, on the root crops I do in rows, but on the above ground crops, I place those plantings in triangles to allow more plants in the space that I have. Now, just to get an idea of how this works, my grow beds are 4x4 or 8x4 or 16x4. I just have one that size. And if you are new to this, the recommendation for a good size of a garden to start with is 6x6. Now, the 4-foot width is what makes it easy to lean into the middle with the ease of working your garden. Now, I do recommend a raised bed. You can sit while gardening, at least this kind of style that I have, and it's less labor intensive. I also recommend don't use your native soil, which brings us to number 4, the soil. Now, referring to my comment about not using native soil, most native soil is not what plants thrive in. It's either too clay, too sandy, and plants thrive in sandy loam soil. And it takes years at best to make your native soil sufficient for a productive garden. So why not start with what plants like and make your own soil? I've bought soil mixtures from a local nursery and I wasn't really happy with it. So I make my own soil now. And if you're interested in making your own soil, I would go to the Living Farms website and find their soil mix. It's easy, comparable in cost with other options out there, and I love the results. It's a beautiful soil that I love putting my hands in and working, and the plants thrive in it. If you want to check it out, I'll put a link in the description. Now, with any soil you end up using, make sure you incorporate compost. Another thing to consider, make sure to plan on a top layer of mulch once your garden is planted. You can use wood chips, mulch leaves, grass clippings, etc. Just make sure it's free of chemicals. Now, this will cut down on those pesky weeds and your garden's water needs. Now, before I mention step 5, if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Much appreciated. Thank you. Now, step 5. When is the right time to plant your garden? Knowing the right time to plant, the right time to harvest, when succession planting is possible, I have a great resource. I've been experimenting with this great app, seedtime.us. You put in your hardiness zone and then add the crops you want to grow, and it calculates when to do the starts, when to direct seed sow, when to transplant, when to harvest, and it's all in one calendar. I've been pretty impressed, and hopefully you'll find it a valuable tool too. The link for this app is in the description. Okay, I have a few recommendations. Try reaching out to your local county extension office. They have great resources and education available for you specific to your area. And if you don't have the space to have a garden, check to see if your area has a community garden. Another educational resource is the High Performance Garden Show. It's in its 9th season of showing how to have a high-yield garden in a small space. So in the comments, please let me know, what is your tried and true vegetable that you plant every year and why you love it? Also, are you going to try a new vegetable in your garden this season? Let us know in the comments. Happy gardening!